Hello, boys. I'm back. Yeah. Coming out of retirement like Phillip Rivers for the Colts this week. I had to give you guys your week 15 commissioner update. So guac's up. It's week 15, the playoffs, round 1. And I gotta say, I'm still in shock after last night. Monday Night Football, Eagles-Chargers, the game of the week, did not disappoint at all. Going back and forth with Andy all night. Carl did what he had to do to stay safe. Powers took care of Chris, and it was up to me to win one more game and stay out of that dress. So I had to choose Amari and Hampton, and luckily I did over Vidal, or else this would have been a little bit different. But Dicker kicking for the Chargers. Back and forth with the Eagles defense. Anytime you got a defense on Monday Night Football, it's bound to be a little bit of back and forth with the points allowed. And I got to be honest with you, 1 o'clock at night, I called Powers. We got Stevie on a call too. The three of us were discussing the fumble recovery that was credited to the Eagles defense. I was on Twitter. I was researching the Titans-Cardinals game and what happened there. Went to bed thinking, I think I'm safe. Woke up a little late, of course. Got a call from Obi before I could even look at the app. Told me I was safe. It was a relief. 13 years, still haven't won the big one. Still haven't lost. I don't know how to feel about it all. I guess I should feel pretty happy that I have some draft capital for next year and I'm not going to be in that skimpy little dress. Chris, though, however, I did save you a little something here. You know, I didn't want to get rid of it. So, it's still here. It's waiting for you. It smells like loser. Yeah, buddy. Sorry. We'll definitely be golfing this time around. We can't do the same punishment, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. But here we go. Now we're getting to the important stuff here, and we're going to go over the first round. And we're going to start with Jimmy versus Greg. Now, went into the league history on the ESPN app here. Since entering the league in 2017, Jimmy has only made the playoffs twice. But the kid is dangerous when he gets in there because both times he's been in, he's won a championship. So watch out for Jimmy on this one. He's been a juggernaut pretty much all year. And I think he's got the most points for, stand corrected, not. But he's got a tough matchup against his duos partner this week. Now, Greg, on the other hand, like myself, 0 championships, 0 dresses. He's never been in a championship game in 12 seasons, okay? But this is his 9th playoff appearance. Greg has a tough road ahead, starts with Jimmy this week. Now, Jimmy lost the first matchup to Greg earlier this year, and just 2 weeks ago, Jimmy won the second matchup against them. They were at the Brook, they were having a good time, laughing. 2 weeks later, they're in the playoffs facing each other. Should be a good one. 51% for Jimmy, in favor of Jimmy on this one. Hurts coming off a terrible game last night. Can't get any worse, 2.4. He's in a great bounce back spot versus the Raiders. So, Greg, on the other hand, wheeled and dealed for Matthew Stafford, made a trade late in the season before the deadline with Obi. Luckily, he did because Danny Dimes went out with that Achilles injury. Stafford gets to face his old team, the Detroit Lions. Will be interesting because he is throwing to Puka Nacua, who Jimmy has. So that's great. We also have some great tight ends in this one. Jimmy with Kelsey, Greg with Kittle. And then we have the trio of running backs here. Greg going young with the rookie running backs, Henderson and Harvey. And then, of course, Jimmy, lethal combination there with Gibbs and James Cook. So that Rams-Detroit game should be a good one to watch. I'm not sure if Greg's going to kick this off with Drake London. I don't know what his health status is, but that'll be interesting. Tampa versus Atlanta. I will be at the game with Powers. Speaking of, if you're looking for a rivalry, look no further. This is the one right here. Stevie versus Powers, okay? Head-to-head matchup here. They're 11-11, okay? Split down the middle. Stevie might have a one-game advantage here because he did come out on top earlier this year in Week 9. Last year, however, in the second round of the playoffs, John eliminated Steve by just 5 points, okay? Both of these guys have been to the playoffs. This is their 9th appearance, both of them with 2 championships, okay? These are 2 juggernauts in this league, and I'm glad to see that they're facing off in the first round because, honestly, I don't want to see them win a third. You know, that's just me being salty. But anyways, I'm going to be down in Tampa watching John sweat this one out on Thursday Night Football when he's got Ibuka, I believe he's going to play. He's going to probably play, obviously, Bucky. And we'll be at a sports bar on Sunday watching the rest of the games as they sweat these out. Great tight ends again. All right, Bowers versus McBride, the 2 new best tight ends in the league. And Stevie's going to be riding Jonathan Taylor. He hasn't had a few good games the past couple weeks. Best game he had was against me, that 50-pointer a couple weeks ago, but it's been some duds since. Hope he can get back on track. Barkley hasn't really done much. He broke one out last night, but Stevie's going to rely on his running game. Both teams don't really have great wide receivers going into these games here, at least not a good feeling. So some of them are hit or miss, like Zay Flowers. And of course, Ibuka hasn't been doing well. Stevie with Juwan Jennings and Debo or Michael Pittman. I mean, who do you play? So running back heavy, wide receivers not so much. And looks like John may roll with Dak on Sunday Night Football. I thought they'd flex this one and put the Pats Bills in there, but apparently they're not going to flex it. It might be Dak in a shootout maybe on Sunday Night Football to end this one. So that's it, guys. These are 2 great first-round matchups. Anthony and Obi awaiting these winners, which, after all is said and done, it will be reseeded. Okay, we love reseeding in this league. But that's it, guys. Good luck to everyone that made the playoffs. People will be eliminated. They'll have some red X's on their faces in a photo next week as we get down to 4. Good luck, boys. Commissioner out. I'll see ya.